Welcome to day 64 of the Sacred Pause. Thank you to our dear Sister Mary for the meditation she brought to us last night. A combination of Mary's soft voice, beautiful words, and the humming of the train in the background seemed to send me into a deep trance. Thank you, Sister. Today I'm going to start with a poem. The sun shone radiant in the clear blue sky. I basked in the stillness of my perfect morning. My endless beauty reflecting back at me so clearly in the pristine lake. This was the greatest place I could ever dream of being in. And as the noon came, a mighty wind did blow. Dark menacing clouds gathered. The thunder boomed, and the thick rain fell upon my face. I lost myself in the shadows and darkness of the muddied water. Oh, for the warmth and tender kiss of the sunbeams. Oh, for the blueness of the sky. Must I seek a new place to rediscover my beauty? Must I seek a new face to uncover my treasure? Must I run for solace, for the security of the cave? Or is it but the darkness of the weather playing with my mind? So I sank to my knees and I prayed. I prayed for a sign that my magnificent power, that my beauty remained. And as I did, a beam of sunlight fell upon my face, and the clouds cleared, and my faith was restored. I basked in the stillness of the perfect evening, as the sun shone radiant in the clear blue sky. Now today I wanted to talk about listening to your heart. Oscar Wilde once said, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people just exist." So here's a question for you. Did you ever have a time in your life, or maybe right now you're at a time in your life when you go into work, or you go into each day wondering, what am I doing with my life? Well, I can certainly relate to that feeling. It was Joseph Campbell who said, "The person who takes a job in order to live, that is to say, for the money and not for the purpose or passion, has turned himself into a slave." Now, I'll never forget doing the medicine wheel with Alberto Vialdo in 2018 alongside 50 incredible shaman. I spent 2 weeks in California understanding who I truly was. And then another incredible 2 weeks in Chile on a journey going deeper into the jungle than I ever thought possible. Weeding out issues from my childhood and my adult life, and even discovering ancestral imprints and personality disorders that I didn't even know I had, but they'd really been affecting me. It was terrifying, incredible, and the greatest gift I could ever have given my soul. And in that moment, with my entire life completely turned on its head, a million possibilities racing through my mind, and on the minds of everyone else I could see who'd done the same course. Well, in that moment, Alberto turned to me and the rest of the group, and he said, whatever you do, don't go home and leave your jobs or break up with your partner. Of course, I was going home a completely different man, a transformed soul. And I pondered Alberto's final words of wisdom. You see, on the positive side, I felt supercharged. I wrote an entire book in just 20 hours on the flight back home. I suddenly had poems and songs coming out of me. I felt like Rumi, Keats, Lennon and McCartney all merged together. But the moment that I looked at my wife, both of us knew immediately that there had been a massive change in me. An enormous shift of energy between us as a couple. She was no longer looking into the eyes of that old, wounded, testosterone-fueled, hardened, masculine force that she'd fallen in love with. But instead, a far more refined, feminine soul, softened by the great wisdom of the universe, torn open at the heart. A brand new set of eyes and an eagerness to embark on a journey of a life of learning. Equally, I look back at her, this time reaching far beyond her physical beauty and her brilliant mothering. And suddenly I saw an exquisite soul trapped in a world of busyness, the whole world on her shoulders, burdened with the great responsibility of life. A soul who was riddled with fear. In the other big area of life, I'd always loved my job, always loved the people I work with. But the next day I went into work. I opened the door, and as I walked up those stairs to my office, I knew instantly that I could no longer play this game of being a slave to a boss who had different ideals to me. I couldn't adhere to the rules I didn't believe in. And I certainly couldn't pretend to be somebody that I wasn't. What a turnaround. Alberto's words still rang deep in my soul. It was like Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, talking inside Luke Skywalker's head. Use the Force, Luke, use the Force. But Alberto was saying, don't leave your job. Don't break up with your partner. So for the next few weeks, I went deep. I meditated like an absolute idiot. And I kept being told one thing. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Because by doing what you love, you will inspire and awaken the hearts of millions of others. In response to Alberto's wisdom, Spirit told me to watch each day with a brand new set of eyes. To let these new energies settle in and then make a decision once I'd found my balance. Now, if you've ever read Robert Johnson, he's done some brilliant books. He, she, we, all of them amazing. And what had happened to me in California and Chile was I'd been on the journey of the Fisher King, of Parsifal, the wounded healer, who can only be healed by doing one thing. And what the medicine wheel had allowed me to do was to start that healing process. It allowed me to drink from the Grail, the river of life. You see, we all have something to fix inside us. And if we say we haven't, we're not being honest with ourselves. For me, after a lifetime of feeling inferior, being told I wasn't good enough, I was finally learning to love myself, to raise my self-esteem, and to find the courage to fix myself. I'd opened up the possibility to step into my destiny because I'd realized that jobs, insurance, security, and all the things that society tells us are important, well, maybe they are. But they're all fear-based, man-made illusions. And even money, well, that doesn't come from our employers. That comes from Spirit. Spirit allows that money to come. So even money is something we should never have to worry about. And at some point we'll do a poverty consciousness course where we can learn to step out of that and to bring in great abundance. And to do it in a way where we're doing something which we love, something inspiring. It's almost like you get given a map which allows you to see your life in reverse, where you look back and make sure that you never wasted a minute. Because from that moment you turn the corner of awakening. A brand new view opens up, and everything is possible. My brothers and sisters, Gandhi talked about living each day as if it's your last. And I think I finally understand what he meant. Perhaps a more gentle way of saying this is that before you make any big decisions, look at your map. Look at every decision like an investment. And think, if I do this in 10 years' time, will this mean a lot to me? If I do this now, in 25 years' time, will it still mean a lot to me? And for the really big picture stuff, if I do this now, what will the children of my children's children think in 100 years when they look back upon my life? Will they be proud of me? You see, every day of your life is precious. Every day of your life is a gift to be here on the beautiful planet Earth. It's a gift to be alive. Let's not waste our time doing things that we're not meant to do, that we don't want to do. Let's not be in places where we don't want to be. And that's why 1 year after the course, when everything had balanced, and I stood on the great mountain of life and looked at the view from the eagle perspective, I left my full-time job because I'd listened to my heart. And that's why right now I'm speaking to you on most days, sharing tiny drops of wisdom. Because for me, this has so much more value. Because once you listen to your heart, listen to your calling, step into your destiny, you become unstoppable. Because you step into a great power. And Spirit will do everything it can to make your life as magical and momentous as it possibly can be. And that might not mean you become a millionaire overnight. But what is a millionaire? Because for me, in my redefined version of success, I'm a millionaire in my heart right now because I get to speak to you every day. I get to send messages like this out and tap into those incredible energies which course through my veins and come right from the heart. Tonight's meditation will be done by the handsome Frenchman Nicolas Lanois. We love you, Nicolas. And he will take us on a journey to his sacred garden and his magical river in Evian, La France. Thank you, Nicolas. Before you begin, please open sacred space and send healing to the people of the United States, where today the death toll reached 100,000 from COVID-19. And please send great love to the people of Hong Kong, who definitely need our love and healing right now. Please also send healing to the firefighters, to the hospital workers, to the police, to all the health workers and carers who continue their incredible work for us across our beautiful planet. Please can everyone send healing to Jane. We love you, sister, and we send great compassion to you. Please don't beat yourself up. Be nice. You're a beautiful soul. To Pearl and her monkey mind, we love you, sister. And we send you great peace, love and healing. To Jeffrey's friend, Mandy, we love you, Mandy, who needs our love right now. To the bees, the buzzy bees, thank you, bees, for being part of our world. I've seen so many more in the last few days. To anyone of fragile health who is at risk from COVID-19 and has great fear right now. Also to our dear sister Wilma, big hugs to you. Big Huggles, Mary style. And to Annabelle Mattingly, who needs our thoughts, our love, and our passion right now, because she's going through a tough time. She lost her mum, and never easy. Please send healing to anyone else who gets named on the WhatsApp forum over the next few hours before we do our meditation. And please give yourself a big hug. Thinking of all of you right now. You're so special, and never forget how extraordinary you are. The revolution has begun. Let's evolve with honor and grace. Yours in peace and love. Peter. Namaste.